the crater, like the prophets once said, and the ashes are all cold now. No more bullets, and the embers are dead. Whispers in the air tell the tales of the brothers gone. Desolation, devastation. What a mess we made when it all went wrong. Watching from the edge of the circus for the games to begin. Gladiators draw their swords from their ranks for Armageddon. I'm nuclear, I'm war, I'm breaking up inside a heart of broken glass. If I standing on the edge of the crater, like the prophets once said, and the ashes are all cold now. No more bullets, and the embers are dead. Whispers in the air tell the tales of the brothers gone. Desolation, devastation. What a mess we made when it all went wrong. Watching from the edge of the circus for the games to begin. Gladiators draw their swords from their ranks for Armageddon. I'm nuclear, I'm war, I'm breaking up inside a heart of broken glass.
Hello.
Standing
Hello.
on the edge
Uh,
of the
okay, can you
crater,
say something?
like the prophets once said,
Okay, just one
and the ashes
test again.
are all cold now. No more
So
bullets,
are we good or?
and the embers are dead.
One.
Whispers in the air tell the tales of the brothers gone. Desolation, devastation.
Yes.
What a mess we made when it all
You know
went
we can't hear
wrong.
you, says Oswald.
Watching from the edge of the circus for the games to begin.
Also, people are clamoring for you to turn off
Gladiators
that music because it's
draw their swords from their ranks for Armageddon. I'm nuclear, I'm wild, I'm breaking up.
Oswald, you are not fuzzier than Tauntaun. Sorry to tell you, but did you just fart?
Okay, can they hear us?
Can you guys hear us, or because that would be great if you could give us some feedback. Yes, they can hear us.
Oh, perfect.
Was lange währt, wird endlich gut, as we say in German.
Okay,
Meaning, go ahead.
I'm just gonna put some background image or something.
Yes, put a picture of a cicada being raped by a bear.
That's very specific.
Well, you don't have that. Just make it. You're Thomas's visual guy. You can whip that up.
X, please.
X visual guy. I don't care. Is there any announcements pertaining to the good of YouTube? I'm not sure what you mean, Tauntaun. Can you scale it down a bit? Because the waves are not completely
Sure,
contained.
I'm just finding the bear.
Purple One, if I knew what your question meant, I could answer it, but the answer is probably no, regardless. That's not Tauntaun. Oh, did I say Tauntaun? I'm sorry, I meant Purple One. Yeah, that's better, I guess.
I have better. It's just the first image that I found.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Anyways, so we're ready to start.
That's great. It's still shitty, Purple One. Well, how about you are still shitty? I hate to break up publicly. Yeah, hello everyone. Everyone who is here, everyone who is not yet here, whatever. Today, Lestat and I are gonna talk about cicada, I suppose. And because all of you know me already, how could you not? I figure I would let Lestat introduce himself and give a bit of background on himself, because I would like to actually hear that myself too. So please go ahead.
Oh, awesome. Thanks. Well, I started with the cicada stuff almost in 2000. Yeah, start of 2017. and it basically led me to the Sophia Music channel. A lot of incongruencies like led me there, and I was still not sure of what was that channel about or if it was related. But basically, the music was the thing that convinced me that I said like it's like kind of the same style and stuff. And I just left a comment and contact. Then I got contacted by Thomas, and it, like the in 2 days after, like we were talking on the phone and stuff, and I was like, well, that wasn't too hard.
Wait, he actually called you on the phone, or did you call him?
Oh, I called him. Yeah, he sent me a number. First, it was via email, but then
Hmm.
we talk on the phone.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and the first task actually was to make a GIF image. And he contacted me also because I was sort of recommended by a friend of his. That, funny enough, after I got recruited by him, like he warned me that, hey, Thomas is a fucking scammer. And he actually actually it was yeah, Chase. I don't know if you've seen him around. He uploaded like the Liver Secundus video.
No, I don't know too many of the people that Thomas surrounds himself with. Well, I mean,
Well,
I
yes.
sort of have a rough overview, but a bunch of people that he asks to do stuff I don't actively know.
Well, it's just a funny story, but anyway, yeah. So many things like didn't click, and I would recommend it because had I could make graphics. It's a hobby. It's not actually my profession. I'm more uh web developer, and just the graphic things. It was, well, when you're freelancing, you don't want to pay for graphic works and stuff. So I start doing it myself.
Mhm.
Um, but it's always been like more of a hobby.
Now, one thing I wanna get get out straight away is everything that you do. I have like visually, I was really impressed by
Oh,
because
thanks.
it looked really impressive. I could never do that. Um, no matter whether I agreed with it or whether I thought it was actually Thomas. The star that you have, I think
Hmm.
is generally amazing. So
Okay, cool.
I just wanted to shower you in a bit of applause here. Um, what else did you do for Thomas? Can you sort of go over that a bit? And what experiences have you
Yeah,
made with
well,
Thomas?
I did a bunch of videos for like for Sophia Music. I did basically all of the current videos of Cicada from this year. I made the logo for Shadowbox. Yeah, the infamous Shadowbox.
Can you please explain what Shadowbox exactly is for everyone who isn't aware right now?
Well, Shadowbox, I really didn't have like any involvement in it. Basically, just made the logo. But like of what I heard, it was like a company that uh, Thomas DeFango and Fox tried to start off, and well, you know, by the people that are involved, it just never really took off. Actually, uh, they went uh, work that was already paid for never got done, and I actually like tried to finish it, but basically, Fox paid back the persons that requested the job, but I tried to deliver. It was some web app. It was like a blog, and another it was something like a web application, kind of like a video blog. But that job, I made Sophia Music Channel. I made a bunch of applications for Cicada that never got used because Thomas, like, well, he doesn't know how to download a video from YouTube. So,
Yeah.
uh,
If anything, even a casual glance at the Thomas fake cicada puzzles has shown that he is not very capable in terms of technology. He needs people to really do almost anything for him.
Exactly.
So, and did you meet? Were you in the room when Thomas and DeFango met up in that country club in Texas, or was it just DeFango and Thomas?
No, I was just the Fango and Thomas.
Or
I
just
the only person that I've met in person was Thomas. Unfortunately.
um, it says that it is buffering right now. Can you do something to like?
That's weird.
Yeah, because it says weak video output. Doesn't receive enough data.
Let me close stuff.
Are you torrenting on the side? So, you actually met Thomas in person? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, it was more that I invited him over
You
to
invited
stay
him
for a
over.
while.
Now it says it's good again. You invited him over to stay for a while. And how did that go? Can you talk about that, or do you not want
Yeah, sure. Well, when the Fango drama was going on, he told us that he caught pneumonia, that he was sleeping on the street, that his computer was took away from him. He made us like everybody worried and stuff. And because I have a little medical background, I told him like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like sleeping on the street and stuff? Like, come over. I'll take care of your pneumonia and stuff." And it was just in the, you know, just trying to be a good friend, I guess. Just when someone tells you that he's sick and sleeping on the street, and well, I didn't know what kind of piece of shit was he. Then that's what I did. I actually told him that, come over. I'll get you a piano, one that I did got him one, and you know what? Like in the 2 weeks that he was here, he never played it once.
that is
But that
interesting.
uh-huh. So
So,
and at the end, I had to kick him out.
tell us everything about that, if you will.
Well, like really soon, I realized what kind of like person he was, and I've talked about this. Like, yeah, that's the first time I realized what that he was like full of shit, but dangerous. Because
Lestat, if I
like
may interrupt you, someone recommends to turn down the upload resolution. The quality of the picture is not that important. What is more important is our visual, is our audio.
oh,
If you
okay,
if you can do that, that'd be great.
let me try.
Not to interrupt you, but if people are having
Mhm.
difficulties, because you should know this, I'm not actually streaming this. I'm not set up to stream. Um, I gave him the streaming key so that he could stream from his internet into my account.
That's
Because there was
correct.
a problem with his account, whatever. So, would you please continue? Sorry to
Oh
interrupt you.
yes. So after 2 weeks that I like never see him play, never do something creative, yeah, acting crazy. Like he had pneumonia, and he acted like he was talking like, "Hey, buddy, again, like you have to defend me against the Fango." And so that's how he talked, and that's why That's when I told him like to stick up for himself against the Fango. He couldn't because he couldn't talk. So that's for one of the reasons that we go with fucking Nathan and shit and an
What does that
interview.
mean that you go with fucking Nathan and shit?
Oh, what did? Excuse me. Can you repeat?
What do you mean you go with Nathan and shit? Can you explain Nathan's involvement in all this?
Yes.
Because
I'm
as I
sorry.
understood, there was like this ancient fiendship between the Fango and Nathan.
Well, really, like, who knows? What Thomas does is makes people fight and create uh, drama. So I really can't tell. But we went to Nathan for like an interview
Hmm.
because the Fango was outing Thomas, and we were like all stupid and trying to defend him.
Hmm.
And well, in the time that Thomas was here, he acted like a piece of shit. He smoked like one pack of cigarettes a day,
Hmm.
even if he had pneumonia. The first Before he came here, he asked me constantly to get him some pills called Ambien. It's
Uh-huh.
basically some sleeping pills. Uh, I got him the pills because he told me that he hadn't slept for a week. It's just shit like that. So I went to a friend that is a doctor, got him the pills because you have to have like a prescription, and because they're narcotic.
Hmm.
And so I gave him to them. It was like he's a 50-year-old whatever man, and so just gave it to them. And the first night, I was downstairs and I suddenly heard like this big noise, like something like big fall into the ground. And and my family was sleeping in the other room. And then I go up the room, open the door, and I saw like Thomas like completely fucked up, like drooling, falling. He took 9 pills the first time.
Fucking
I,
God.
I thought that he was trying to commit suicide. That's what
Oh
I
my
thought when I
God.
saw him.
Do you know how many pills were in that pack? Rough idea.
Yeah, it was like uh 6, no, 45, I think. But
Okay.
it was a mess because that first night I was like, fucking Thomas, what's wrong with you and shit? And I took the pill from him because he was like, after like help him out up, he grabbed the pills and he was going to take another one. I was like, you fucking crazy and shit. I took him from him and just put him in my pocket.
Well, you have to understand he didn't sleep yet. But continue.
Well, after 2 days, like the second day, 2 days after that, I was taking a shower, then went out and realized that Thomas took the pills from my pocket while I was taking a shower. He just gave it to them. He's like, Thomas, I don't care. It's yours.
Hmm.
I'm not taking care of that. So there were instances like that that was like just like wrong. Like
Yeah, he seems like he made himself a little too much at home in your place.
at one point, I thought that he would not leave because he was only supposed to stay 1 week.
Hmm.
He stayed 2 because after that first week, I told him like, "Hey, you gotta get a place. You gotta get a place of your own." And so he just kept postponing and postponing, and it was fucking suspicious. And
So,
Saturday, I had a big discussion with him because I find out that he was like stealing money from a business that I made a video and we got paid, and he was only like giving me 30%. So I found out, confront him, and even after confronting him in my house, showing him that he was stealing from me, he like turned aggressive. And started like bashing me because why did I contacted the clients directly? I was trying to steal them from him. And so that got me really pissed off that day. Like a friend came over, uh and we were fighting over email because I was like telling him, why aren't you haven't you got a place? They're like, oh, I can't create an account in Airbnb, blah blah. So it postponed like almost like 3 a.m. At 3 a.m. I told him, you know what, Thomas, come here and play something, make me like believe that this whole shit is worth it. Like, words are words are worthless right now.
Mhm.
Like play, and the only yeah, play or you're like
Actions are louder than words. Fucking play or shut the fuck up.
yes, exactly. And he only answered back like, "You got me."
Is
And
this what he
when
said?
yeah, like you got me or you kill me, like yeah, the whole context, the it was like you got me or you can't do it.
So
And
so so you had the impression that it was an admission that he can't do it. You caught him
yeah,
red-handed.
because I never see him play. Like what creative person doesn't do something creative in 2 weeks? Like never even play like for joy of playing.
So this is the thing with Thomas, right? He likes to pretend as though he is this grand composer, right? That puts out these
Hmm.
little snippets of genius up on his YouTube channel. But in those
Yeah,
2 weeks, you never even saw him tinker around with an idea or play something that he just thought of or even
never.
practice.
Never. I mean, by now we already know that the piano music that he supposedly composed is his ex-wife music. He doesn't know how to play piano, man. The music from is of Sophia music is from his ex-wife. That it's an actual pianist from Iran, and
Okay,
she's
so does that
plays
mean that
beautifully.
does that mean she made the recording or that she wrote it or what do you know about that?
She's a pianist. She's a professional pianist from Iran.
And is
Uh,
she this Beth person whose name is going around or
no, no, no. She's something completely different. Thomas
okay.
has kept her like completely in the dark, but there are little pieces of information on his first videos on Sophia Music that you can see the name of his ex-wife. And like right now, I think the ex-wife like yeah, completely no connection with Thomas anymore. But Thomas is still this girl plays beautifully. It's like the thing that made me trip out the most about Thomas that I couldn't like understand, like why is he a piece of shit but can makes beautiful music? It's not possible. To create something with beauty, with inspiration, you have to have it. You have to love yourself. I don't know. You have to shower at least. you know?
Wait, you
I
just say he didn't shower?
I had to tell him like several times that he smelled bad, that he should take a shower because he was like in the house and stuff, and like, what the fuck, dude? Why don't you shower? Like,
That is insane. Did he in all this time contribute? Because I imagine that mostly paid for his household fees or whatever, like,
I never
cost
paid
around.
for him. Other person did.
But when, but he used your toilet, he used
Oh yes,
your
everything.
line. Did he contribute anything to that? Excuse me,
Yeah,
did he give you some
I had
money
to
or?
ask him for, yeah. At one point, I told him to help me like pay for the gas and stuff.
Yeah, and did he do that? Was a discussion?
Uh, he did it, but it was like negotiating with me. I was like,
Oh,
yeah. I was like, I asked him like, hey, what, you don't pay half of it? Like, well, I'm not gonna stay like too long and stuff. Like, okay, just give me like I don't know. And that was it.
whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The thing is, he shouldn't be negotiating with you when he is
Of
the guest that has already overstayed his welcome.
of course, I mean, it came to a point. Okay, Thomas told me that he was like allergic to the sun, so he couldn't go
Are
to
you
the
for
store.
real?
It's that he couldn't pay. He couldn't go to the store because he couldn't ask for the uh, clerk there to sell him a pack of cigarettes because he couldn't speak Spanish. He can speak 13 languages, but not Spanish.
Okay, I will come back to the language point in a bit, but keep telling your story.
So what basically happened is that one day he didn't have coffee. Like all day, the only thing he did was like coffee and cigarettes over and over. And even like I offered him like weed and stuff. Hey, you want to puff and stuff? Like he gave it a hit. Like, no, buddy. Hey, you think you can score some coke and stuff? Like,
Excuse me, did you really say that?
yeah. Like he has history of substance use. So he asked me like to get cocaine. I'm like, no, I can get you some acid if you want, but no. He's like, he only took like puffs of weed and stuff, but he really wanted coke.
Maybe that gets his creative juices flowing. Who knows?
Maybe that's how he plays piano only with, you know.
Maybe. So what do you think, like from your personal experience, what sort of languages does he speak? Because if you notice, like in the fake cicada puzzles, as I
Mm-hmm.
think they are, like he makes references to a bunch of different languages, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would just like to hear from you. What languages do you believe he speaks?
Only English.
You say he is not fluent in any other language but English.
Yeah, he's like the kind of person that learns that party tricks that makes you look smart. That's what Thomas is. It's like repeats and talks whatever he seems like interesting. He doesn't have like a creative. He doesn't have imagination.
Would you say that he has some kind of superficial charm?
Yes, he definitely has.
You know
He
that a superficial charm is one of the definitive criteria for a sociopath or psychopath.
I think that he has a pathological psychological problem.
So you believe that he has some kind of personality disorder tending
Absolutely,
towards the antisocial or dissocial or whatever?
absolutely.
And you base that on your personal experiences
On
with him.
personal and yes, it would be empirical data, and also he like if you take a checklist that makes a sociopath or yeah, he
You believe that he would tick enough check boxes,
enough what? Excuse me.
enough check boxes for him to qualify as a
Oh yeah,
sociopath.
yeah. He like fills all the check boxes of a sociopath.
Oswald says, now Thomas is going to go after brotherBox. Oh, I'm not worried. Apparently he
If
apparently he has stage 4 emphysema. He would have to travel to Germany to fuck with me.
if he didn't do anything to me, I mean, he's like he predicted with his powers of prediction that in March I would be assassinated by the cartels.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this. This is a great topic. Thomas and his predictive powers. Okay, um, I'm just going to tell a little story that you may or may not know. That was in 2016, I believe, late 2016, right? And there was a thing going around called the bad self-eater.
Oh
What it
yes, yes.
effectively was, yeah, I believe you know what it's about, but I'll just recap. Bad
Mm-hmm.
self-eater was essentially those dollar bills popped up that were
Mm-hmm.
like made like real dollar bills, but they had like artwork
A
of Hillary
dragon.
Clinton and Trump on them. And you say dragon?
Yeah, a dragon on the back, right?
I don't remember the details, but
Mm-hmm.
and there was a subreddit associated with that, right? And a website, and everything pointed to this website, and there was a counter, right? So I have. I take a shot every time Brother Box says essentially. Well, I'm gonna ramp it up. So what happened was back in the day, I had an inside source into Thomas's inner circle, right? Because he was already doing his fake cicada shtick.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas had told those people around him, or at least one person, that at the end of this countdown on the Bad Self Eater website, right, that at the end of this countdown, WikiLeaks would release all 33,000 of Hillary Clinton's deleted emails. This is what he predicted. Now, of course, nothing came to pass. And this is, as I understand, where a bunch of his followers back then really turned away from him.
Hmm.
And the gall from him to insert himself into a countdown that he has nothing to do with, that he can't possibly control, that just amazes me, because that takes a certain kind of audacity, a certain kind of courage, and really a lot of
Yes,
stupidity. And
that
what it,
but has worked. Like he has, like by luck, sometimes uh, it has worked on in his favor. But you are totally right on that kind of attitude and actions he takes. Like,
he does more shit like this. In one circumstance, I heard that he told this one woman from Missouri, right? He told this one woman that he had sort of telepathically, like there was a child murderer going around,
mm,
and he had directed this murderer to not kill her child, but another child. And now,
what?
like this is my best recollection of the story, and I genuinely believe it to be true because I have heard it from more than one source. Um, but yeah, this is what he told her back then, and ever since then she's been sort of hanging on to his lips.
Mm.
And then he spread some stories about me. Oh yeah, he then spread stories about me that I had hacked her phone and taken pictures of her children. So she
No,
was angry at me and thought I'm a pedophile or something.
he has talked so much shit about you. It's like,
Oh, please give me a sample. I would love to hear it all. I
no,
revel in it.
he
I'm dead serious. I revel in it. It's my heroin.
he considers you like the boogeyman.
Oh,
The first thing that he like asked me and make sure that I didn't knew you, or that I haven't like had any type of connection. The worst thing, yeah, like any.
he vetted you against contact with me. That's amazing.
But I think the worst thing he said is what your involvement with in the Pavana thing.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, he said that you were the one that was torturing her.
Oh.
Yeah, that you were the one. Basically, all the things that he did, he
Mm.
was blaming on you, and he was making other people think that you were doing stuff that he was doing at the moment. So many people did actually like believed him, and I think that I'm not sure about Pavana, but other people did.
Maybe we should recap the Pavana situation. What happened was there was this one woman, Pavana. She's a middle-aged woman, and she lives somewhere in the middle of America somewhere. And so she was sort of interested in the cicada thing, as I understand. And I
Hmm.
believe that my first interaction with her was in July 2017, right? She came into this Discord. It was called Curious Cats, and I was a moderator there or whatever. And she came in there and she wanted to talk to me because she had made contact with Thomas, I believe, and they had
Hmm.
invited her to talk to me, sort of to get a different opinion, right? And I talked to her, and back then I was really heavily into meditation, right? And I
Hmm.
asked her, "Do you meditate?" And she said, "Yeah, I meditate." And I said, "Oh, how do you do that?" And she said, "Well, I really only sit down and smoke a bunch of weed." So that was her conception of meditation,
Nice.
and I had the idea that she and I left on recent terms. I didn't really intend to talk much to her, but she kind of sort of stayed around in the community. Like you would read her in YouTube chats, and over time she would get severely less coherent. Like sometimes she would just like as though she had just like hit her head on the keyboard and then pressed enter. And
Hmm.
yeah, maybe you can illuminate some of the backgrounds of that situation. What did Thomas tell her about me?
Well, I know about this, and this is just somebody told me that there was an occasion that uh, they were messing with her, and it was Thomas' son just writing C's on the email like over and over and over, and on the other side was like uh, Thomas feeding her that it was some kind of puzzle and stuff, and it was just his son like, uh huh,
His son literally shitposting to her via email.
yeah, and Thomas was reinforcing via. just using the esoteric meditation kind of, oh, you're gonna have a visitation on your dreams,
Uh-huh.
shit. And so he used like kind of like a placebo effect, or just made that person like believe that
Oh, I
reality.
mean, the thing is, she doesn't seem exactly mentally on a good foundation. She does seem a little unstable, um, which is
Well, I
probably.
think that that's the result of. I mean, she was writing a book after she's met Thomas. Thomas like really not only makes you feel weak, attacked on all sides, dependent and stuff, but also confuses. It's like if you see, like you said, the people that surrounds him, like right now, it's just really kind of like fake plastic, and just I'll tell you later, but
Okay.
it's
Have you seen
hardcore
the
stuff.
have
Hardcore.
you have you seen the video where Pavana sort of talks about her experience in all of this?
I re-uploaded that video in a series that I put up exposing Thomas.
Oh,
It's like,
I did not see it. So just to recap, Pavana uploaded this video, right, where she talks about her experiences with Thomas,
mm-hmm,
and she talks about how she sort of fell into, like, had a mental breakdown, and then she was because like, as far as I understand, like, she was bullied online from different identities, and
yes,
Thomas told her that I was behind it
that's
because
correct.
for whatever reason. Um, and apparently that, or some other things, I'm not sure exactly, that fucked with her head so much that she had to be put in a mental hospital because she had a nervous breakdown.
Correct.
And in that situation, as she says in the video, Thomas pretended to be her psychologist
Mm-hmm.
and gave the medical advice, or whatever. And as proof, she like, took a picture of the hospital letter where it says his name, Tom Schoenberger.
Yes.
Now, I have good reason to believe that he is not actually an accredited doctor of any kind in
No,
California.
no.
And
But here's the thing: he took advantage that he has a brother that is.
is that true?
Yes, he's an immunologist, and
Immunologist, yeah.
yes, so that's how maybe he got through the basic verification, or he gave a registry number. I don't know how they manage that in the states, but
Well,
yeah, she shows the evidence that it actually happened.
but that advice does not. I mean, even if his brother is an immunologist, which I suspect is a credible field of medicine, that does still not make him a psychologist or a neurologist or anything to that effect. So, and even then, he wasn't her doctor, you know. And pretending like he was is just unethical as shit.
It's a
Uh,
crime. It's
is
a
it
crime.
actually a crime?
Like it's how
I
could
mean,
he not be like given advice about medication and treatment without being a doctor? I mean,
I see
it
where you're
has.
coming from. I agree, it should be a crime. I'm just not sure if it is. And
Mm-hmm.
even if so, like, she would have to press charges. Like,
Yes.
nobody can do that for her. Um, but yeah, Thomas told Pavana that I'm effectively behind a bunch of online identities, and then that,
Mm-hmm.
just fucking with her. And
Yes.
everyone who knows me also knows that I don't have the time or the energy to do bullshit like this, even if I did care about Pavana. Like, I think she's crazy and probably not very smart, but I just don't have any negative or ill feelings towards her. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I don't
Well,
go
mhm.
after people. What I find interesting is, have you ever had any contact with Genki?
Yes,
Yeah,
I consider him a friend.
yeah. The thing with Genki is, like, he flat out white knighted for Pavana. Okay, at certain points he flat out white knighted for Pavana and talking about he had talked the suicidal friend out of suicide and whatnot. But at the same time, he would have had to know that it was in fact Thomas behind the bully. Did he not? Like
Well,
he clearly was aware of that, and he was in contact with Thomas as well. And if the word around the campfire reached him, he should have he must have known that he implicated me in it. You know.
well, it's like I've talked with him about that,
Hmm.
about this, and I don't want to repeat because I don't remember exactly what he told me. But Genki, when he find out about the Pavana thing, he was disgusted.
Yes, he said as
Genki
much in the stream.
separated himself from Thomas like in April,
Yes.
but like better ask him.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm just with Genki, I'm just never sure how much of a real answer I get because sometimes he lies about really irrelevant things just to keep his reputation or his self-image up, which is something that
I
deeply annoys
understand
me
you.
with Genki.
I understand you perfectly.
So I'm 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 sort of implicated in all of this stuff. As you said, Thomas likes to talk a lot about me, and when I
He
try to,
blames you for many things, or like yes, you can imagine. I'm sure.
yeah, no, I would actually like to hear what he blames me for. I want to write it on a big list and get punished by Santa for it today.
Well, I can search in my emails and see how many times he mentioned you.
Oh, well, I would like to do that if I could get a number. Like
Mm.
I will never live that erection down. Gotta be honest. I love it. No. You have to understand. I revel in this guy hating me. Okay, it's not like I provoke it. I
Uh-huh.
just do what my conscience tells me is right. But this guy hating me and going really mad over me, I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Bec-
he considered you the boogeyman.
yeah.
It's
Well, so much so that he has to make up false shit about me. I'm pretty sure there is a criminal charge there, hidden somewhere. Where,
defamation must be.
well, but defamation is a bit of a high threshold, legally speaking, because for defamation you have to prove damages, and I
Mhm.
can hardly do that. And I can go to a court saying, "Hey, he insulted my internet reputation." I wonder if he mentioned brotherBox or Roman slavery more in the emails. So, one thing I would like to ask you: does Thomas really believe in stuff like alchemy?
Like I think that in a very stupid way he does. Yeah, that would be how I could describe it. Because yeah, man, he's like
Or does he have a lot of bizarre ideas that don't merge with like regular secular understanding of the world?
well, yeah, well, he when the Syria attacks happened, remember
Yes,
the
and in
yes,
2015 or 16.
no, the ones that of this year in Damascus.
Yes.
Well, he told me that he was going to Israel himself and like kill Netanyahu with just his ninja skills, I guess.
Wait, how serious was he?
Well, when we talk on the phone, he was like dead serious about going to Israel.
You mean he,
And
he was as serious as you and I are speaking right now?
well, I couldn't say that he was joking. I didn't took him seriously, but I was like, okay, yeah, Thomas, it sucks. Yeah,
But
they
but you
bombarded.
be, but you believe that he was not obviously joking.
Well, like many times, a lot of times that I caught him lying, I was like, oh, maybe he's like making himself interesting, or maybe he's just trying to make like a topic to talk about, or just making some joke. Because that's how he starts like to involve you in an attack and stuff. It's like, hey buddy, let's do something fun. Why don't you put this comment on in that video, and let's and it's gonna be funny. He's
So
gonna
so
love it and stuff.
he sort of baits and entices people into
Mm-hmm.
being inflammatory.
Yes. And he sets up like this situation and then just sits back and watches it go.
He likes to fancy himself the puppet master. Is that a fair summary?
Yes, absolutely.
That's interesting. Have you ever noticed that he uses bots on YouTube?
He doesn't have the ability to use bots. I think that does it manually, because
Because
when he was throwing chat at me and like in videos, when I first started the expose,
mhm,
he started like full bot mode, and he was so stupid. Like he didn't like wait. I don't know, like not consequential the bot. It's like make an effort and shit. And yeah, all the counts, all the comments, all the mean comments were one over the next, and
yes,
just the avatar were just so stock photos.
they were all sort of stock footage like, and a bunch of them were like smiling women with their full face
Here's
in
the thing that
camera,
you're
right?
gonna love. You're gonna love this. The Most of the accounts of the bot accounts that he has are Black American males.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Does he
Maybe
believe that gives him more credibility?
like more racial variety. I don't know.
No, because I happen to notice that, like, when I see bot comments, in those circumstances,
Hmm.
um, they seem to be women. Even though women, for the most part, don't give a fucking shit about any of this ignorant grammar. Okay, they have better things to do.
Yes.
And if you look at their first and last names, they always follow a formula. They're always 5 letters, and the first, third, and fifth are consonants, and the second and fourth are vowels. So you get Kenek Kufulu or something,
Mm,
Kukuluf. And that technically guarantees you something pronounceable, but
yes.
fucking Kenek is no name for a woman. It is nowhere on earth. Or Filat. Filat is not a woman's name. Or
Yeah.
Kuruk. Like, and this is
It-
so obvious. And I
exactly.
and I wonder why nobody has caught up like
No,
to that.
they have there actually. There's a video from a school play where he like he even find that same sock account like posting on sexual toys. Yeah.
what
Yes, it's totally true.
what I find so funny is that a bunch of sock accounts that he uses, you can actually find. Like, there is one, Max Kirchner, which is a German name. Um, uh, he used a bunch of sock accounts, like put out a name of, or rather a name that he attributes to me out there,
Hmm.
um, and it was just so transparent that he was behind it.
Of course,
It's
yes, it's
just so
stupid. Yeah.
transparent, and it's been that way. Have you ever heard of the I am zeros person? I am
I am
zeros.
zero. No.
Okay, so that was in 2015 or 16, I don't remember. There was this guy online, right? I am zeros is what he called himself, and he was
Mm,
one of Thomas's minions, right? And
okay.
what, as I had later learned, um, what he did was he was sort of this guy with a face mask on, was like a scream mask. J.J.
Oh yeah.
Hemingway, we're talking about Cicada 3301 and the idiosyncrasies of the guy who pretends to be a member or the founder. Anyway, so this I Am Zeros guy, he made an interview. Well, he had an interview at Cicada, as he claimed, which was really just Thomas.
Oh, the one that Fright Night.
No, not Fright Night.
Hmm.
Not Fright Night. Fright Night is a total, like, he's his own class of idiot by himself. Um, he can't even fucking read. No, but I Am Zeros, he claimed to be in contact with Cicada, which is really just Thomas. And
Hmm.
so, uh, due to circumstances which I'm not going to explain now, I came to email with Thomas in 2016 or 15 or whatever,
Hmm.
and and suddenly Thomas was like, "Do you want me to ask this guy to take down his videos?" And then, like 10 or 15 or whatever minutes later, he sent me another message. Okay, the videos are all down. So
Hmm.
clearly he was in cahoots with this guy. And then the guy made videos like a big fuck you to brotherBox, and brotherBox is a Bolshevik and all this dumb shit.
Yeah, he makes people do videos and content about, yeah, he weaponized people.
Yes, he weaponizes people. And this guy, I've like this I am Zeros guy. I know his identity, but I'm not gonna say it.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, he tried to hide himself behind a mask, but I'm not bad with this.
Is
Uh,
that the guy from also the Facebook group?
I believe so. Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
or
yeah.
one of
Then
them. The Facebook group is an ominous swamp by itself. There is a lot to be said about this Facebook group.
I've heard actually the one the I'm friends with the current admin of that group, but
Yeah,
it's
me too.
way
He's a great
different
guy.
than it is now.
Okay. I'm not going to say names here. Sorry.
Hmm.
Because I want to protect people's privacy. The same goes for the guy who like defamed me. But yeah, I have reason to believe that he didn't get enough oxygen at birth, so he's actually somewhat incapable of,
It's
thinking
possible.
straightforwardly. But that's an intuition that I have with a bunch of these people. How many people would you say he is in contact with,
Well,
or like,
he
or like,
contacts everyone that he can and threatens everyone, and yeah, he's basically in contact with everyone, but nobody, like, not everyone takes him seriously anymore.
what do you mean nobody takes him seriously anymore?
Well, the expose that I've been, like, trying to finish, it almost has been going on for almost a month,
Hmm.
and it's been a series of events that basically he has uh, destroyed himself online, and by threatening people over and over, by exposing him, by showing the connections and his criminal background, and
What do you mean criminal background? Can you? I mean, the thing is, when I ask you to talk about it, please only say things that you know are correct, because I don't want to
I
defame the guy.
no, of course not. Everything that I'm saying, there's already evidence for it,
Mhm.
and all, yeah, everything that I put out, I haven't, like, the videos that I made of the expose of him. I don't even speak everything. He's like himself, his doing, his actions. I didn't even speak, so nobody gave me that "you're making drama stuff," but they still did, and it's okay. It don't care.
I mean, was he
But
ever arrested?
yes, he was.
What for? For what? Like, what does he get arrested for?
Uh, Let me open up his criminal record. Yeah, it would be great that you, like, if you want that, I can put the, yeah, I can put it there in the OBS. Yeah, give me a second.
Thomas looks like a guy that will sue you. He actually has threatened to sue someone.
He's like suing half the internet right now. Like,
Like actually suing, or like talking about suing, because this
talking
is,
about suing,
yeah,
talking about.
because this is something that I noticed with Defango as well. He really likes to talk about suing, but he's too fucking dumb to even read a page without severe problems. You know, I
Well, I,
I have an expert, like I know an expert on reading and reading education, and this person says they know first graders who read better than Defango. Not even kidding, which is sad. But I
well,
interrupted you. Sorry.
no, it was just. Uh, I've always find it, like, really weird how nobody, like, when I got into Cicada, the supposed Cicada, Thomas Cicada, let's call it.
Hmm.
Like,
Thomas Cada, yeah.
everybody was new. Like, there was no old people. Like, why are we talking in a Twitter chat? This is not like too cicada looking.
Yeah.
And also it's like everybody's was, well, there were other people that I started, like, that Thomas introduced me, like, later on, the thing is that Thomas kept everybody like isolated, so we
Mm.
didn't talk between each other. That's why we didn't knew that Thomas didn't do shit about the job. You know, all the puzzles he didn't. He just was like a manager thing. So many things that he attributed to himself, it was the work of other people.
The thing is, like I've been active when Cicada was actually happening, you know, and
Hmm.
I have a I believe that I have a pretty deep understanding of how the puzzles work and the elegance of it and stuff. And
Hmm.
whatever Thomas is doing, it just has nothing to do with it.
Oh, sorry. One second. Let me close
Okay,
fucking Discord.
okay, um,
Sorry.
yeah. What Thomas is doing has nothing to do with actual Cicada, and it shows in like every facet of it. Um, should we ask Lestat if he is hung since they shower together? Yeah, Lestat, can you say anything about his penis? Actually, please don't. Um, hi, Scotty Karate. Um, uh, so you want to talk about arrests?
Well, first of all, I want to talk about like what do you know about the source? I have there's many things on the backside that people don't know because it's basically I don't have the full information of. So I want to know what do you know about the source?
Of Cicada and the lore
Yes.
and what. Okay, so um, technically, I know nothing. I well, there are some ideas out there which I believe are reasonable. For example, that they originated from the cypherpunk scene, that they started out in Berkeley, this kind of stuff. Um, there are some names being thrown around. One that Thomas really likes to use is Ian Murdoch. You know, now the Ian Murdoch thing does not make any sense at all. But this is something that is often thrown around. But I have no information that I would be comfortable, or rather that I think is reliable enough to put out there. Everything would be a guess.
Hmm.
So can you fill me in? Can you confirm something? Like what is your what do you have to say on this?
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat? It's I was dealing with the phone call that I got.
Okay, so really what I'm like I have some ideas of where cicada may come from, like who
Uh
may
huh.
be involved, but I have no concrete information. I have nothing that I could prove. Um,
Hmm.
the name Ian Murdoch is being thrown around by Thomas, you know, a lot, but the timeline on that just makes no sense. And I know people who knew Ian Murdoch and they never mentioned anything like that. So
Hmm.
I have reason to believe that Ian Murdoch had nothing to do with it.
Me neither.
I mean, he was a smart guy. Like he created the Debian distribution of Linux, which is pretty decent. But so
Hmm.
yeah, what's your take? Can you prove me wrong or
Well, I here's the thing. Thomas did got to the source. Okay, now that source, I've I tried to reach out to him. I talked with him many times, even worked with him, but he always acted weird. He was the most isolated of us all. And like at this point, I really think that Thomas has him blackmailed with something because I asked for like a verified account, like either in Twitter, YouTube, with that had the PGP, so I could just finish off Thomas
hmm?
once and for all. Then I realized that it would be only validate Thomas, and it would only like certify him, and it would be not the best way to deal with him. You know, it would just make him relevant.
Yeah.
And Uh, but later on, I started worrying about this interest in all of this that's happening. I thought it was like cruel for him to let me go pass through this, because it's been like, you've seen how Thomas attacks, that he goes after your friends, after your family, after your circle, social circle, and just puts everybody against you.
I mean, I have heard that, yes.
And it's been hell, man. It's been disappointing. And so many just see friends turn against me, and they thinking that they're doing the right thing. It's disappointing. I mean, just, but most of them just realized like that he's full of shit, and they're actually like, I'm totally cool with him. But at the moment it was like shitty moments, and it's like people think that I like fighting and doing this shit. It's so stupid. Or they telling me that I was larping, that I was just like, it was frustrating because I hate doing this. I prefer doing like anything else rather than talking about this fucking loser.
Yeah, I was thinking, if he could play piano, he could play piano rather than fight petty fights on the internet.
Of course, like so many times he says like, I want to concentrate in my art and blah blah, blah. But he just
I
I
mean,
don't know,
from
bring
what you,
Isaac Cappy into the scene and fucking explode QAnon to the mainstream media.
oh yeah, one thing I would like to ask you, which I believe I can already tell what you're gonna say to me, but what do you think is with QAnon, and do you think Defanga has anything to do with it?
Well, I tried to reach out to the Fango to like clarify this, because it's so fucking murky. Like I understand that what the Fango says, but there's really like no physical evidence, and I work
No,
by evidence. And either way, it's like, if he, like, I don't have any problem him saying that he started that. Okay, yeah, yeah, I don't want involvement in it. And Cicada, like, uh, uh, has been like really adamant in about separating the Cicada from Q. And that's something that, in my opinion, because we don't have any way to verify anything, because it's not worth like discussing it. Like,
the thing is, Defangor just really likes to get fame out of everything. Okay, I deeply believe that he is a sad, confused little man who knows that he doesn't have, much to offer to the world. So he likes to get fame out of everything, and if people can't prove him wrong, the better. So
well,
he,
I understand, and like I said, I really don't have like, I empathize because he was used just like me. And
but
it really boiled my blood when I saw Thomas like making fun of him, and I asked like the Fango that I was sorry for going after him. Like, I had no business in going after the Fango.
but do you not think that he got what he deserves?
Oh, when he was crying. Well,
Just in general.
when you're tricked and I really like. I agree that the Fango did many things uh like, if he would expose Thomas maybe in a more serious way, not so much like a war, because that's what it was. And maybe because also I was like supporting Thomas in the moment. But nevertheless, what Defango did helped me a lot learn how Thomas played his fucking shadow games and stuff. So I think that I'm no one to judge. I really wish that, because when I realized that I was fooled, that I invited this person into my house, that he basically like uh confronted me in under my own roof, that he like that he made me feel at one moment that I was doing something for the better good of mankind, like in that moment.
But in reality, it really only served him, didn't it?
Yes.
Wasn't it
And
just
so
to keep
when you
validating
realize
him
that,
and his ego?
when you realize that, that moment when you just everything crumbles down, you feel really shit. You feel stupid. You feel used and stuff. And it was that's the problem, that Thomas doesn't only like, if he would use like only the bad things about my past and stuff, I don't give a fuck. But the fact that he used that I prefer to be a nice person rather than a hateful one, that's the thing that it like
But you
hurt
see,
me.
this is the difference where I see with DeFango and everyone, rather a bunch of people, I believe that DeFango didn't play along or whatever to be a nice person. I genuinely believe that he did it to gain attention or to profit in some way or to feel superior to people, because Cicada has been talked about by everyone and their mom on the internet to the point where I don't even want to discuss it anymore, honestly. In any case, I believe he did it for purely selfish reasons, for purely like really low, selfish, egotistical reasons. For him to feel like he matters, not to contribute something, but for him to receive attention. This is the difference that I would make with DeFanco and like pretty much everyone else. Because I
Well,
believe
I
everyone
think
else,
that
just
pretty
like you,
much he,
go ahead,
yeah,
sorry.
sorry. I was gonna say that he pretty much like said himself when that, yeah, he felt like he was doing something important. He felt uh, wanted and relevant, and that's the thing. That's when you get higher, the fall hurts more.
That's true, but he kind of exalted himself. Have you ever seen how he talks to his stream? Like he bans people.
I have, and I've told him that I've always told him that I really didn't agree how he even in some cases like insulted people, and that's the truth. I've seen comments where he called people idiots and stuff, and that's something that I never agreed with. But nevertheless, it's like if if you think of what feeling the illusion of fulfillment and then being dropped down to nothing, to just basic shit of use uh person, it's a really big hit, and how Thomas attacks like so viciously and just accusing you. He accused me of being a Satanist, a pedophile, like a cartel snitch. So and yeah, like he even told people like in one point that there's an interview with him I uploaded in my channel, that he basically starts talking about vampires like if there were an historical thing.
Do you know this interview that he has with DeFanco on his channel, right? Where actually
Yeah.
Tauntaun and I, like we didn't really drink, but we were amazed at how often he references Roman slavery or the Byzantine Empire or whatever it was. I'm
The
sure she can educate.
Renaissance.
He has
Yes.
something or the Templars. I don't even remember what it was. He has a huge hard on for Templars. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, we were amazed at how often Roman slavery mentioned 3 times. He is fucking insane about this shit. He really needs to to present himself as a knowledgeable and wise person, which is just pathetic.
Yes, I agree. And once you get how what he's really saying in context, disgusting. Like when he went to the Fango to the interview, he didn't told anything to us, and it was like he encouraged me like to a point that I was going like insane. That the Fango was attacking him, that the Fango was evil, that the Fango was a pedophile, that the Fango was this, the Fango was that, and then like next day just see him in the stream of him like like being all cool. I went crazy.
You know
Like
that
you can see me in the chat like going like what the fuck and shit like.
Oh, I probably can't because I think you're banned or something, so I don't think your messages show up anymore.
Okay, but here's the thing about just to finish up the topic with Fango. Like all these days, I've been trying to contact him to talk about stuff that happened. You know, make things clear. I helped him with like I've I really tried to amend the damage that I did, if any was done, and I really tried to contact him, and I see him now like maybe angry because I didn't understand something or shit. That's murky by itself, fucking confusing. You know, everything with Thomas is confusing in chat, and so like yeah, man, it's how can it's not in bad intent. You know, I'm not trying to smear anyone. Just want fucking Thomas to go to fucking jail and his friends. But about anything, everybody else, I reset my opinion on everyone. Like even with you, brotherBox, because you know you were Satan. You were the the
Oh,
just the worst
the thing
entity.
is, if you go by what Thomas has about me, I torture little kitties or something. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
probably the worst person on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And once people start talking to me, they realize that I'm a no nonsense guy. I'm often abrasive. I sometimes troll a little, but I think at my at the bottom of my heart, I'm a good guy. And
Mm-hmm.
it really takes a sociopath to slander me to the point where I appear like the devil. And
Yes.
Thomas does that.
Yes, I agree. It's that's why I realized that even the concept on someone, I had it all distorted. So I really just gave everybody a reset, and I gave the opportunity to know them and to just hear them out. So like I understand that maybe the Fango being like angry about me not having things clear and stuff, but man, like I really tried to contact you like many times to talk and stuff, and you know we can't really postpone this fucking Thomas getting out of the fucking internet anymore, because he's gonna still keep uh making threats, just making damage. You know, maybe you're even like the Fango. How can you even complain, man, when I asked for your help like more than twice and you just said I don't want any involvement, but you're still involved? So yeah, man, I'm being nice and stuff, but you know I have the full like yeah, like as I can be nice, I can be like a fucking asshole, and really I only wanted to be in like to the people that deserve that. I don't think that uh the Fango has like nobody has to be mistreated, but don't complain if like I don't have things clear. If I try to contact you many times and I even have asked for your help about dude, like I asked the Fango like, dude, you know, right now is the moment that we can like bring Thomas down. Like I asked him, why don't you do a stream with me, or we do a stream and stuff. He just said he didn't want any involvement, and I said, oh, okay, that's fine. So that when then later I see him like making videos on his own, it's like contradictory, you know.
Mm.
And this is not talking shit about him; it's just reality. You know, I went to every fucking truther in YouTube with the information about Thomas, about the fucking involvement of this other entities from outside, and like people that I helped, that I offer my friendship and stuff, and nobody wanted to help. The only people that helped me, it was like Canadians. Yeah, there were the only one that offered me a platform to come out, expose this uh fucking Thomas, and really like back me up, and even like up to this day they call me and to ask if I'm okay, because they got worried about the death threats and everything. And it's people that are also tired of the bullshit that's going on YouTube. So basically like it's been really disappointing, this whole experience. I just want to get the fuck out of this platform, really. But I'm have some OCD on me, and I really had the need to see things finish.
At this point, I've been, well, I hate to say it over and over again, but I've been in this for a while, and I've seen quite a few things. At this point, I believe that the only way to like get through with it is to just not pay attention to it anymore. Because
Uh,
if you keep investing time in it, it's just gonna burn you out.
oh yeah, I agree. I agree. The thing is that we still just this shit goes so deep into so many shit that is going on right now or that has happened. It's just like fucking interesting.
Yes, but if you want to try to keep other people from being fucked with, you can't do
Oh
that.
yes, absolutely. I,
But
I had to cut off many relationships because everybody that commented me, everybody that was my friend, they got attacked, they got stalked. My girlfriend, families, friends, it was like people like in the chat, like talking shit about me to them, and I was watching. So it's I agree that the best thing is to like right now he's been like castrated publicly.
cash rated.
You have to see a stream that was on today in the morning. Actually, the person that streamed it was the admin of the Facebook group, and he exposed Thomas, and Thomas was in the chat. Like it was a roast, more like yeah. It's been you have to watch it, man. It's like really right now he doesn't have any support, like for real. It's just the noise that he's making. The thing is, and the problem, I don't give a fuck if people talk shit about me or that they try to insult me. They try to get me triggered by telling vampire jokes. Like what? Like oh, anyway. Uh, the thing is that some people like Pavana have been almost at the mental break point also, and
Hmm.
that people are people that I care, are nice people that have been nice to me, and to see them suffer and just going almost insane because of this motherfucker, it made me bored.
It makes you really
It,
mad. So I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this person, right? But there is this person who apparently is still a supporter of Thomas, right? And she is this blonde woman, I believe, and
mine inspired.
yes, might inspire, and she carries this little sword with her, and she makes really cringy videos. Um, what is with her? Can you shed some light on her?
Well, she's been like this character that supports Thomason in a really weird way. That she's all about like this doll from a horror movie that yes, I love you and stuff, but I'm gonna choke you when you're sleeping, like something like that. It's contradictory that someone that talks so much about love and peace and world betterment just relates herself with a scumbag like Thomas.
So Tauntaun asked something that I wanted to bring up. Is she fully functional? Did she have part of her brain removed?
What?
Like because if you listen to her, I get the feeling like I don't know her frontal lobe or something doesn't work. No, I'm dead serious. She just speaks with such a weird cadence, and there's strange cuts and non sequiturs, and
Like glitches and stuff.
like what?
Like glitches that she
Yes,
makes.
it's almost as though her brain just glitches out. Or as MCN says, she's an android. Like, do you know anything about her?
Well, not really. Like when the first time that I went angry with Thomas, she was like the first one that yeah, she's like the minion of she does like what Thomas tell her to do. But I think that she doesn't realize that she's doing what Thomas does. I think that Thomas just makes a little effort to spin words a little bit just for her to not realize that she's being manipulated. I really hope that maybe she like. There's a line, when I see someone making death threats about cartels and stuff to someone, that's out of my friend list automatically. So many of them that still support him after all the shit that's been exposed, or after the obvious things, is they're like right now they are beyond my interest point, and even like I don't know if they can be like saved or something. What more do they need to see? You know.
Yeah.
So,
Um.
yeah, we derailed a lot. We were talking about the source and stuff.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Sure.
Yes, and I like there are many things that I don't understand. Like you said about many people being like not wanting to have any problems with him, like that don't want to engage, and it's something that I've. If you see the other interviews and the exposés that I did, I called them out. It's like this is a solo mission. Nobody's helping me. The people that are supposedly in my group said that they don't want any trouble, that they don't want any drama, and so at the end I'm getting like really cool help and stuff. But at first it was everybody against me, and the ones that were supposedly with me, it was just moral support. Like really nobody's stand up and help. I don't blame them now that I see like how toxic and venomous can Thomas be, but it was like it was not easy. And more that you're doing the expose, and even people like saying that you're LARPing, that this is just part of the puzzle and stuff.
Oh yeah. How often would that, be uttered anyway? So I imagine that often people ask Thomas stuff, and he's just like, "That's part of the puzzle." Does he have any idea where he wants it to go, or
Mm-hmm.
does he just make it up as he goes along?
Yeah, it's like he attributes things that happen on the outside. It's like, oh, hey, buddy, you saw that earthquake in Alaska? I predicted that
Yeah,
3 months ago. Remember when I told you? Like,
I
what?
remember reading that actually, that exact example too. I'm not sure where, but the thing is, and the other day, excuse me, I got an email from Thomas, right? Because I had left a comment, but he said you have the tendency to to shoot an arrow and then paint a bull's eye around it. And I was thinking, yeah, but at least I don't fucking predict earthquakes based on fucking nothing. Like
I
if
know.
anything, he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
It's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
it was just an example. Like when he got here and we started talking like face to face, we were like in the talk like 10 minutes, and then he said, stop. Right now we have said 3044 words with the letter S. Like, okay.
Is he true?
Randomly he did that thing. I was
It,
like,
it, it sort of seems to me as though he's trying to like prove some kind of immense
yeah,
intellectual capability,
yes.
which Defango has done too on occasion. Like he would sit down and say, "It's not like I haven't estimated the probability of that to be 3.4491267.532%, something like that. Which is numbers that he obviously made up. But I noticed this tendency in both Defango and Thomas to to appear above their pay scale when it comes to intellect.
Hmm. Well, I think that it's the social pressure. Just what did who they want to impress?
Well,
Like,
the broader public probably.
yeah, but it's like the I really don't understand, because it's something when you know something, when you're good at something, you don't say that. You don't say that you're smart. Any real smart people, I've never heard them say nothing about their intelligence or they be smart, because you know that if you're smart and intelligent, people are going to rely on you. You're going to be the person that to go and shit. It's like a curse.
Actually, I do talk about it all the time, but that's because I have a massive ego. No,
Oh, then they.
but you're absolutely right. Like Stephen Hawking was once asked about his IQ, and he said, "I don't know my IQ. People who talk about their IQs are losers." And
It's like, yeah, it's not a real way that you can prove that you're intelligent or smart, because like here in Spanish, if you say genius, it's more relevant to like genie, and it's means basically like you have a bad temper.
oh,
Yeah, it's like
so
it's not
it
important. If you're good at something, you don't have to say anything. You're just gonna do shit right.
that's true. Like there are things where I'm competent, but I don't feel the need to point it out. Like I'm pretty good at computers, I would say, but I
Uh
don't
huh.
need to point it out to everyone at all times. Um,
Exactly.
oh, hi Jethro. I was actually wondering, like this is something I wanted to say earlier. We have 27 viewers, and I believe some moles, I would like to call them, are among us.
Hmm.
Like some people who really don't like me, but you are watching us anyway. Should talk to Fango and Thomas. Hey, Jethro, are you off of your meds? I would hope so. Does your son speak to you again? Oh no, he's dead. Anyway, um,
Like just remember and take into consideration that many interactions that you've had with many people were tempered by this individual. Just
that's fine.
uh hmm
Again, if they hate me, that says more about them than about me.
exactly, that's right. Just completely
Like,
agree.
I'm not phased by it. I've always been the boogeyman, ever since 2015 or whatever. I've been one of the boogeyman, and I just I love it. Um, I if he wants to paint me as the devil, you know,
Hmm.
I forgive you, brother Box. Uh, I should forgive you, Jethro, which I do because I do know that you're not in your right mind. In any
Like
case,
that. That
I mean,
yeah,
Sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry.
I just wanted to say that Jethro must have been brainwashed out of her fucking mind to ever talk to me like she did, and to say all the insane shit she said with prime channels and all her insane stuff. So, but
Well,
go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
yeah, she said a lot of things to me also. Like, yeah, she's very fierce. So completely
She's
agree.
not fierce. She honestly, Tauntaun and I really only call her meth row because she appears like she's fucked up on
Like,
meth.
yeah, I get it, man. I get it, but it's like after I realized what happened, it's like, okay, just gonna be open to know people, like not because of what other people told me of their first interaction, because like I said, it's his technique. It's his modus operandi, like to surround your social circle will be infected by him. So I forgave Jeffro completely. It's like, I understand that you were manipulated like I was when I went after many people, when I was used as a weapon to make videos of memes and stuff, and mean videos and whatever. So I understand that, and I just gave everybody a new chance. It's like Thomas tainted this just group of just smart people,
Thomas
or
kind
just
of
you could
turned
call
the.
it crazy people. I really like not the most stable guy either, but I'm not a dick. I'm not gonna hurt somebody on purpose. That's a line that you don't cross. And like insults in that, it's like, come, oh man, I was raised in a, like with sailors and stuff. It's like words only have meaning, and that they are going to affect you if you let them. So like really right now, I'm not feeling comfortable about you talking that way about them. You're completely free and to talk whatever you want, but I'm not gonna participate in that. Just putting that out.
If we could, I would like to get back on what you said earlier about the source and how
Hmm.
you talk to someone who claimed to be the source of cicada. So what can
Well,
you say about this?
well, the PGP code was not lost.
I have no reason to believe that too.
And me, it's this is some. I'm everything from this point is gonna be on like what somebody, someone that I trust told me. But because that person, that third person that has allegedly the PGP code is completely isolated, and of this I'm sure that it's blackmail. I haven't been able to reach to him. No, Thomas took care of this person more than anything, than anyone. Like it was like his golden boy. So that's something that reinforces that suspicion. Also, this person has proven that has the knowledge, the ways, and the creative drive to be that source. Okay, because yeah, the people that really were the creators and in this just past puzzles, we were all isolated, and we were it was uh just based on lies and everything. It's just the same motives that he told that oh hey, I did this modification to this song and stuff, and in reality someone else did it, and so it went to for many things. And after all this shit started for me exposing, because all of this I tried to do it in private, all of this, but uh Thomas was the one that threw the punch in public. I didn't want anything of this going public, and he didn't back down. He just went. It just kept getting worse and worse, until it came to a point that he told a YouTuber that has basically a Christian follow, and that they are very heavily, if not everything, invested in that whole Pizzagate pedo shit thing.
Uh,
He said in that stream that I was a Satanist, that I was kicked out of Cicada because I was practicing Satanism.
oh,
And
this
so
is
he
what they
did it.
say about Marcus too. He was kicked out because his ego was too big and whatnot. Just saying.
Yeah, like who, like you can't really take anything that's Thomas said like in other thing than a joke, a reference.
I have a question for you. Has Thomas ever said anything about PGP and like what happened with the key and
Yes.
stuff like that?
Yeah. Actually, it was one of our last discussions as kind of like friends, if you want to put in quotation marks. He's always said that the PGP code was with Ian,
Yes.
and that after Ian died, that just a quick intermission. Like I really find really suspicious that Thomas was so adamant in asking YouTubers to make videos of Murdoch being like, that supposedly he committed suicide.
Yes.
He made people make videos pointing at the police of Napa Valley.
Oh, he
And
is
so,
really in love with hating the Napa Valley police, okay?
yes.
Really in love. That shows in a lot of fields.
Mm-hmm. And that's something like weird, because why would he ask so many times so many people to do that video? It's not like out of the goodwill of his heart.
No, he wants to influence public opinion about them because he has a pet peeve or something.
Yeah, or even something worse. Maybe he's like,
Maybe he just doesn't like the fact that every now and then they rein him in. Maybe, I don't know.
mm.
Um so oh fuck, what did I want to ask him?
No.
Yeah.
The thing is, we were talking about about the PGP.
Yes.
Okay, so I always told him like, can't you get it? Like, no, it's in the computer that it has like it's with the father of Ian.
Mm,
and that it would be like a really dick move to go in and ask him for something like that after his son died and blah blah blah. Emotional uh,
Yeah.
manipulation. But not long ago, maybe a month, something showed up on 4chan related to the PGP, and it was a link that sent you to a list of, it said like supposedly Cicada members or persons involved in Cicada, and there was just a bunch of names. Maybe there was a reference to part of the key or something, but it wasn't the PGP and wasn't a Cicada post. So I went with Thomas because many people were asking me, "Hey, is this official? Is this the PGP?" Blah blah blah. Sorry, and I asked him, and it was like, "Yeah, how did you discover that I got hacked or what? The PGP was supposed to be secret and stuff."
Yes.
And I asked him something about it, and like, so what's about with the list? And he just answered like, "You're gonna see. It's something that I plan." And then, what was the plan? I asked him. Like, just I'm gonna get back everybody that talked shit about Cicada. Then I kind of like saw the emails and persons there. It was like people from the Facebook group that, it was just random people that had something related to Cicada on their emails.
Mhm.
And so at the end, I asked him like, okay, like clearly tell me, do you have access to the PGP code again? Did you got it? And then he told me that yes, he got it. I asked him how. He told me like, oh, I've had it like 2 months ago. Like, and then they're just gonna go forward. When all of this stuff started, he started saying people that I was committing mutiny, that I wanted to take over Cicada. Yeah, and so he threatened me with this. He sent me an email, and he said like, how do you think if I post a PGP signed message telling everyone that you got kicked out of Cicada? Like, I would destroy you. Is that what you want? Or what would you like if your friends and family have all the screenshot of conversations where you're talking shit about them? Like, yeah, do it.
You said that.
Like, yeah, give, like, if you're gonna do it, give me the my PGP signed resignation fucking
Yes.
letter, whatever.
And at
I,
least
I
fire me with authenticity.
Yes, because in one moment, I with when he told me that, I was like, got you, motherfucker. Because if he would have had that PGP code and he would have released that letter, yeah, firing me, it would only validate me and certified me, and people would just pay attention to what I'm exposing. But because I knew that he was full of shit, I like, yeah, do it. and
Okay,
and,
so,
and then
sorry,
he
go
said
ahead.
like, to I'm going to go to the desert and to stuff and meditate. That's what he told everyone. And then he came back and he was, and that's when he started with the I'm a Satanist thing.
Wow. Did he find that out in the desert or what?
Like, good question. Maybe like he ate a fucking cactus and stuff. I don't know.
Maybe it was a dehydration fantasy. Who knows?
Like, it's so stupid, so stupid. When he was here, like, he couldn't go to the store because he said that his face swollen by the sun and he got allergic and stuff. So who is allergic to the sun goes to the fucking desert?
That makes no sense. I would like to fill in some facts, okay, that you may or may not be aware of, okay, with
Mm.
respect to the PGP key. So, the, I have actually studied up on this, right? The Ian Murdoch died on December 28, 2015. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's when he died. And the circumstances around his death are genuinely shady. Like there is some real mystery there and some real cause for suspicion. However, we received a PGP signed message in on January 5th, and I believe it was signed on January 3rd, 2016. So just
Mm-hmm.
just a week later, okay, we got a message signed with a key that is supposedly lost, that supposedly nobody had access to at the time. So this couldn't be. Then in April 2017, like last year, we found, pretty much randomly found, another PGP signed message. So this idea that the key is lost and that nobody has control over it, that is just false. DeFago
Mm-hmm.
has said several times that we would see PGP signed message, but we never saw one. Genki claims to have one, but he never posted anything. So what I believe is the PGP key is still in the hands of the original 3301 group, and that nobody has illegitimate access to it, because even if you have it, that doesn't mean you can use it. You would still need a password
Mm-hmm.
for it. So having it, so you need to have it to own the piece of data, and you need to have knowledge to decrypt it.
I agree. I completely know how that thing works, and that's something that I've told them that I want to talk with this person. I want to know what's going on. I want to know if it's like real, because I've discovered several things, but there's a threshold that I can't really reach, and it bugs me because maybe I'm like, yeah, we're gonna restore Cicada to its original. Yeah, we're gonna go away from this fucking YouTube platform stuff. But maybe there's always the possibility that that's a second layer of LARP
No,
inside.
I'm I'm
So
I'm going to tell you how we did things back in the day. Okay, if there was no PGP anywhere inside, it wasn't even worth considering. Like no PGP, no cicada, and we were really brutal about that. And it was
I,
only Thomas that kind of softened up this rule, so he can do
mhm.
whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and the thing is this: I've told the same thing, and the answer that I've gotten back is like
PGP
this.
Nazi,
That no, no,
because I
no,
was called
is
PGP
it?
Nazi probably because I'm German. But go ahead.
No, it's oh damn, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, is that this person realized that Thomas was using Cicada for malicious purposes, and that kind of like protecting this PGP code.
Okay, of course, of course. Like they even put it in messages, signed messages. Always verify against this PGP key because every key has an ID. It's complicated, but every key has an ID, and they put explicitly in their messages, keep verifying against this key ID. Right.
Mm.
So they knew that someone is trying to impersonate them. They knew that someone is trying to fuck with them, and they want to remind people that they shouldn't be fucked with. That they still intend to use PGP and that they're still out there. You know.
Yes, and that's like I think that I've made enough noise to the people for the people that are involved in Cicada, like even in solving or were part of, to look this way. I think that it's really obvious what's going on. That this person was using the brand, the Cicada, blah blah blah, to harm people, to abuse them, to take money, to
Yeah,
empower
probably to
himself.
enrich themselves.
Yes, and now you can say that okay, we can even put the PGP code aside and just say like, well, we have the brands, but in reality, I wouldn't be comfortable with what's going on because what if in reality it's another person, like the rightful owner or creator. So
I,
that's why I've been
I,
asking, like I via email, via like putting message, even encrypted messages on my videos and stuff to for this person to find and stuff, and I haven't got any answer back, and I expressed that I think that it's very cruel for that person to see what we're going through and just sit back and say I don't care. It's not my problem. It's really a dick move, Mr.
um,
PGP owner.
Actually, a lot of people don't know about BGP, and it's sort of my forte. Do the people that aren't sort of Thomas's Defango, shut the fuck up. You were buying into this shit from the very start. You were just another fucking sycophant who was really, really thirsty for attention, okay? Like you need to fucking shut up, okay? And maybe smoke a lot of weed so you forget all the memories of how shameful the past 2 years were for you. You absolute retard. Anyway, do the people in Thomas's cloud of influence know about his arrests and shit like that? Like do they know about sort of
Well, uh, I think that they're aware at the same level that I am right now, because I'm sure that most of them are watching right, and like I know that many even like gonna be angry at me, but because they have been like not talking to me, I'm gonna still look for the truth. You know, my life has been fucked up with. My work has been used and weaponized and shit. I've lost lots of fucking time in this fucking LARP. And for them to ask me like to have any type of uh consideration when nobody had any with me because they put themselves first, it's just I think I like I hope that nobody like yeah tell me or just goes after me because of just asking questions. You know, why would it be wrong to talk with you just because somebody has problems with you? I don't have problems with you.
yeah, he really likes people to like he wants to approve who people talk to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he tries to be like the central manager that controls his minions.
Yeah, so I'm not like everything that like at this point everything that people tell me to do I'm gonna do the contrary. And I just want to know if like the effort is really worth it, in
It's
the
not.
point that at this moment the person that supposedly like the source is not giving a fuck about the persons affected, about the persons that are being their life ruined just because of a fucking puzzle. It infuriates me. Yeah, I find it really unfair, cruel to a point, because it's like when this whole thing started and I was being attacked, it was like I was not worried about me. I was worried about the people surrounding me that were suffering. I couldn't. I laugh at the attacks online. It's like, what are you gonna tell me on like, dude? I was like in fucking 4chan before Carrot Day was a thing. You
What
know,
was that, like
it's like, what are you gonna tell
2004?
me? But I saw other people that were really affected by words, but by threats. Even I tell them like, Thomas is full of shit. Thomas is full of shit. He doesn't even shower. How could he ever hurt you and stuff? And
No, he really likes to make it personal. If you ever noticed, he really likes to use first names, or what he believes your first name is, right? To sort of to sort of gain power over you, because a name is power. He really likes to do that. He he's actually he's actually pretty nifty when it comes to manipulation.
hmm yeah, he's gonna use. I mean, not long ago, my mom passed away.
Okay, sorry, Jay.
Like it's okay, but he didn't think twice to make fun of it, to reference it, to remind me of like, that's fucked up.
Is that true?
Yes, I even put it in my video, where he says you should go to a psychiatrist and deal with your mommy issues.
Oh
And there,
my fucking god!
and
That
it's that's how that's like something that I never thought that he would talk about. You know, that's
I mean,
and no, like everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry about your mom. Yeah, he shouldn't have done that and stuff." But like
the thing is, it
that
says
that
more
that, that,
about
that didn't mean that nobody helped me. Where's the original cicada when that shit happened? You know,
yeah.
where's the original cicada where to warn me before I was inviting this fucking psychopath into my house because I thought that he was sick with pneumonia.
The thing is, Thomas, like it just says more about him than it says about you, because like he just seems to be a deeply dysfunctional person. When we put together the picture that we have sort of outlined here. If you put all the puzzle pieces together, he just makes the influence of a deeply confused, deeply unrooted, deeply unhealthy person
Mm-hmm.
who has like built all who has built his life like a public presentation on a foundation of illusion, right? So nothing that he likes other people to know about him is appreciable really in any way. You say that you haven't heard him practice piano or play
No,
piano of any kind in 2 weeks. He has really bad health issues. You say that he
no,
smokes a lot. You say that he is dysfunctional about personal hygiene.
brotherBox, bro, like in his interview that he did that I like, it's you're gonna enjoy it. You have to see it. Well, he was challenged by me to play the piano online for everyone to see, so he
I
could
believe
shut
I
me up.
heard that. I believe I heard that.
Yes, I'm gonna put the video, man. I'm gonna put it. Yeah, fuck it. That's the why. Why do I have to talk about it when I can just play it? But basically, when he was challenged by several people on the chat, he was like, "Oh, so you're saying that I don't play the piano? So you're saying that 20 years of musical career it's a lie?" And he like confronted people, and when you're confronted in that way with something so like going against his life and stuff, like it's hard for some people that even like, okay, yeah, it sounds ridiculous, it's fucking stupid, how could he not play the piano and stuff? But up to this point, it would have been so easy to just him to upload a video of him playing, but he hasn't. And in the interview he plays the song, but before he's like, okay, I'm gonna play a tune of I'm gonna play like 15 seconds of it. Like what? Who plays is gonna say like, I'm gonna play for like 45 seconds, that's it? Like, and he didn't put the camera on the piano and anything. It's like,
I mean, technically, you could have played anything.
exactly, just like fucking playing and stuff.
No, he's like all those psychics, who just can't perform when a negative person is around. Have you ever? Do you know James Randi?
No.
He's this magician, well, former magician, but now he gives people $1 million so they can prove supernatural abilities, and so they come to him, right, with all kinds of claims, and they universally fail under test conditions. And so what they usually say is, oh no, he kind of disturbed my presence or my aura or my abilities, or he's just too negative. And I feel like Thomas is just the same when it comes to playing piano, where in the moment where it matters, he just can't do it because whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, no piano, no stream.
Actually, it's like, oh,
All right.
I'm gonna put it,
I'll
play it a little
do,
bit.
what, 15 seconds of
This,
piano.
this picture that you're seeing right now of
All
Thomas.
right. How you gonna
He
do
had
this?
his
You just
Well,
gonna
hold
play?
on. I'm
like,
just going to move
Wait,
over
who
here.
is it? Is
Let
it
me
the
see
guy
if
in
we
the
just-
top left or what?
Oh, let me get my keyboard. Hold on.
yeah, the one that flipped
Just
the
to show
image.
you
Yeah.
it's real, right?
It's because the end of the stream,
Harris.
Yeah.
he
Yeah, I can
like
hear you.
all the stream you couldn't see him, but
But
almost at the end, at one frame, he just like really dumb. He just removed the tape or whatever, and you can see the face.
See, I played.
I remember him differently.
There, did you hear that at all?
And even at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it's
I definitely
even
heard
him.
it.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
Like he's like plagiarizing another Thomas.
You
No,
can tell
I'm
it's
sure
him
Billy
because he talks about
Billy
Roman
Martin was.
slavery and
Okay, no
fucking
piano, no
alchemy
stream.
and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Honestly, no other person I've ever talked to is
What?
that
15
detached.
seconds of piano.
Yeah, I agree, but
All right. How you
like
gonna
this,
how you gonna
you
do
can
this?
see
You
like
just
Well,
gonna
what
hold
play?
on.
happened in
I'm just
this
gonna move over
stream
here.
that
Let me
you're
see if we can
watching
just.
right now. The
Let me get
person
my
on the
keyboard. Hold on.
bottom is Duality of Man, one of
Okay.
his
Just to
big
show you it's real,
cocksuckers.
right?
I don't know this person at all.
He's
Yeah.
just a piece of shit.
Yeah, I can hear you.
But
Okay.
he sells. He's the dealer of weed to the person on the top left side of the court, the one with the drum set on the background.
You mean the top right?
Yes, top
See, I
right.
played
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay, that
There, did you hear
person.
that at all? I heard it great.
Basically
I definitely
contact
heard it.
us.
All right. Yeah.
Us being
You played for me
the
plenty of times, so I know.
Hey,
person that were helping me,
Bill,
the
I'm
Canadians,
sure Billy Martin
me,
was.
and told us
Okay,
that
no piano, no stream.
Thomas reached out to him, that he
All
was
right.
torturing him, that
I'll do what?
he
15
was
seconds of
so
piano.
he was Satan for in his life
All
and
right.
shit,
How you gonna
and
do this?
that
You just
Well,
gonna
hold
he
play?
on.
had
I'm
to
just gonna move over here. Let me see if
call
we can
me
just.
out. Basically,
Oh, let me get my
he was
keyboard.
terrorized.
Allow me to interject for a second. You playing this video is killing your
Right?
upload. If you,
Yeah, let me remove it.
yeah, please do that
Yeah, I
because it is killing
Yeah,
the conversation.
sorry, the third world country internet. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that interview was a setup to just slander me. And the thing that reach out to us is because Thomas told this guy, Duality of Man, to stop selling weed to him. So he was like really crampy, in a really like bad mood because he had no weed to smoke. And that basically that, yeah, Thomas cut off his weed connection, and he was really pissed off. And he like having like problems with the bank and just debts and stuff. He was attributing all the shitty stuff that was going on in his life to Thomas. And I told him, like, there is like, bro, you're tripping out. Thomas does that. He's just like, whatever happens wrong is happening in your life, he's gonna attribute it so you can. He's powerless. The only power he has on you is the one that you give him and stuff.
Yes, in general, that is just super true. Like you just have to stay like aware and in control of your own mental faculties and whatnot. Like there is no excuse to surrender that.
yes, it's and during the interview, when I saw the interview, and then I saw this guy like smoking weed, I was like, "Oh, you son of a bitch! You sold me out for weed." And so during the whole interview, I was like, "Hey, who's the guy on the bottom? Like, is he the one that sells you your weed? Why is he there?" Like, and he got really triggered because he told us that remain that in confidence, and I was going to keep it like that. But when he started like, they asked me like, "Hey, is that true that you're a Satanist?" And stuff. Like, it was like, "No, I don't believe in fucking devil." And he was like, "Oh well, even if you're an atheist, even if you don't want to, you're a Satanist because you're an atheist." Yeah, and
Wait,
I
wait,
was
wait.
like, "Okay, son of a bitch." And they started. He started permitting Thomas to just slander me and just no showing any evidence and stuff. So I got to a point that I got really pissed off, and I started calling out on him, and he got so triggered. It was beautiful. It was a
Do
whole
you
train wreck. At the end,
do
he
you
removed
know?
that interview, but I re-uploaded.
That's good. It's important to keep receipts with him. Do you know if Thomas is religious or not?
Uh, he's whatever religion you ask him, if it's in its best interest, he's gonna tell you yes. Like the guy that said that I was a Satanist in the same stream, he said like, "Oh well," I asked him if he took like Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, and he said yes. So who am I to deny that? But
Yeah.
Lestat is definitely a Satanist. Like,
I mean, well, you are if you go against him because he's trying to make the world a better place. And if you expose his 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 insect games on the internet that have to do with prime numbers and shit, then that's clearly the fucking that's the devil, man. I mean, I could understand if you're Catholic because clearly you're. I mean, I assume you're Mexican or Spanish or something.
Yeah, but no, I'm not any religion. I don't have the need to define me in that way. But it's like, yeah, I don't care that I don't believe that there's such a thing that as the devil, at like this red little dude just scheming evil things in the hell. I don't know. Just it's just stories that got taken too seriously and deformed, kind of like what happened to Cicada when the whole Nostradamus prophetic Spear of Destiny shit came out.
Oh yeah, the Spear of Destiny. We should talk a little about that. We.
Yeah, that's something that I really have pending in my issues of finding out what happened.
Okay, so let's talk about it for a second. And since Fango is here in the chat, maybe he can say a few things about that. Although take it with caution. He really
Hey,
likes to iterate.
why don't we invite him over?
No, the thing is, I haven't really slept tonight, and I can only deal with so much. Like I'm
Oh,
already
okay,
thinking
it's okay.
about Thomas, and I just don't want to invite stupid in here.
It's yours. Yeah, I respect that we're invited in your channel, so it's okay.
No, I mean we can do it with the Fango, but then we would do it at another time.
Yeah,
Um,
of course. Let's
uh,
set things straight. Not just leave the hate on inside and just find things out. It's. I think that at this point, it's in everyone's interest to find the truth, because it's otherwise it's like I'm a Satanist, the Fangos a pedophile, you're the boogeyman.
oh yeah, I mean, oh, the thing is, I don't really care what they all do to me, like.
I think that it's gonna end soon. It came to a point that Thomas has bothered so many people that he's got into real trouble this time.
Do you plan on pressing charges?
Well, the thing is that I'm limited by that the fact that I'm in Mexico and that he's in the States. But I'm pretty sure that there are excuse me, I'm sure that there are more than one people actually pressing charges to him, like real ones, because he fucked up like this time, like big time. Like he got so he doesn't know when to stop.
I'll leave that up to you. I'm not invested in this kind of thing. It's not that I'm afraid of the guy. I just don't want to spend my time on negative people.
I understand that.
So this Spear of Destiny, right? It first came up in 2015, right? It first came up in, or was it 16? I don't fucking know.
What
So then,
was it? Just one quick question: was it related to the pie movie puzzle?
yes, I think it was. That
That's
was
how
20.
it got inserted, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. What happened was, okay, so I have strong reason to believe that Thomas like inserted people into the Facebook group to like take it over to like make it his. That must have been one of his earlier plans. And then like over the course of the puzzle, they decrypted some coordinates via some bullshit, which led to Spain, someplace in Spain.
Hmm.
And so some guy from France, I believe, or whatever, or maybe no, it was this guy from Spain who went to
Yeah,
France
the
this way, right?
Spaniards, the
Yeah,
Spaniard guy.
the Spain fag, yeah, that's
Hmm.
what he called himself.
Yeah, the Spain fag and the chance, right? Yes,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, yeah. I remember that. He posted those pictures, right? And what you do in ARGs when you find a drop is what it's called. Then you
Hmm.
then you document fucking everything. Like you document the location where it is found, like the environment, how you found it, and you really don't touch it unless you've documented everything.
Hmm.
Um, and like ever since then, I said, what the fuck is this beer supposed to be? Like the fuck is it even? Like this does not fit into Cicada. This is not a drop oriented thing. Um, and so yeah. Then at some point I said somewhere, I believe on 4chan, that it looks like a gardening hoe, like just a gardening tool, whatever. Like it could be anything. It doesn't need to be a spear. Um, and people went ape shit about that, right? People went
Hmm.
really mad about it. Um, to this day, some people are mad about it, and I just laugh. But yeah, then
But
Defango. Go ahead, sorry.
the thing is that how that spear really got, like, how did Thomas got that spear? I've heard some interesting rumors and even found some interesting news outlets from Germany talking about some relics lost. And I don't know if you know, but he at one point he was giving out some interesting relics. I got myself a Rosicrucian thing, Templar letter, and it's at least that
Was it one of the
looks.
things that DeFango got where it was just an omelet recipe?
I haven't like gone to the trouble to still decrypt it, but I think that it's a pancakes recipe at least.
Yeah.
But it's like legit the paper and the watermark and it's just
Look, I don't
so
deny
how
that the
did he
spear.
got it?
The thing is, the spear may be old, right? The spear may be
Mhm.
old, and it may be real, like.
But it's not the one that like with Jesus. No, it's not.
Well,
Yeah, it's
I just don't believe that legend anyway. So
no.
the thing is, I have been involved in some history work, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when I still went to school, I actually was part of 3 exhibitions, because one of my teachers was a pretty well-known local historian, right? And when he died, he left his son, who was my teacher, a rather sizable amount of relics and stuff. And we even went out with him on the fields and whatever. And I actually found some arrowheads that I still have. Anyway, my point is, it is not so hard to acquire relics like that. If you know people, or if you have some money you want to pay for that, if it's just a hobby of yours, you can do it. It's not so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because who the fuck cares about some fucker in 16 whatever writing down how to make an awful omelet? You know, that's nothing special. That's nothing that belongs in a museum. And
Yeah,
Roman
exactly.
spears, you probably have a dime a dozen for those. So I believe that he just took something that he had because he likes it, and then he just made it out to be the spear of destiny or whatever. And DeFango, the dipshit that he is, went with it. Then he pretended to give power back to the people or some pretentious nonsense. That he made
So
this
maybe in a
ridiculous.
symbolic way.
No. How the fuck would a spear do that? That spear never did anything.
Oh
Was
yeah, by
never.
its own. No, absolutely
No,
no.
no. But just in any context, it's just a spear.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michael Levine, they got it off some guy in Vienna. Yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is, with Michael Levine, I've never even seen proof that he's involved. Actually, I mean, people. I've received first word of him in 2016, I believe, but I've never seen concrete proof. Yeah.
That's another thing that really bugs me. That what's up with Michael Levine? If he's like fucking rich and loaded, it's like why
This
is he so adamant about? Did you know about that this thing? All of that Thomas shit that he's doing. It's all about a fucking movie.
what movie?
The Count. The Count is like the untold story of Saint Germain.
Huh.
That's all what it's all about. Michael Levine, Thomas Schoenberger, Constantine Christodoulou, Jonah Miller, script writers, and they. I can send you the trailer, and
Yeah, that would be nice.
that music. It's from is the one that they used in Cicada. We found it, and yeah, and not only that, it's like this whole you can see this web page just follow, and it was all about making this movie and them make like getting famous about it. So it's just Michael Levine. I really like try to keep him out, but at this point is like so many years that knowing Thomas and knowing how shitty he is.
He is
uh,
just an accomplice, honestly.
Yes, I think that also, and I
Like, he
think
is
that he
complicit.
has to be held accountable also.
Yes. This is the thing, right? Thomas. Okay, so my impression is that DeFango got mad at Thomas when Thomas wanted to apply for a trademark on Cicada, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and DeFango wasn't involved or anything, which I just find pathetic because, but it was only when DeFango was shut out of money is that that he decided he no longer likes it. But anyway, just this trying to make money off of Cicada is just one of the most pathetic things I can think of.
I agree that
Back
that
back
also.
back in the day, I mean, it sounds like an old timer, but back in the day, it was just for fun.
Hmm.
Like people would actually put some money into, to achieve things, like to do
Yeah,
certain
that's.
things. Like one time we had to rent an Amazon server for a few hours, and it was like $15 or something.
Hmm.
Um, and someone was like, "Yeah, I'll cover that happily." So that was nice. In any case, the people trying to make money off of it is just so goddamn sad.
And worse if they like leech onto it. They didn't have anything to do with it. They didn't did any work, and they were looking at cicadas like it was worth, because it is worth a big amount of money.
Yeah,
And they were like making accounts like, oh yeah, we're gonna, the plan was sell it to Sony so Sony could make a 13 episode series,
I
a
heard
movie,
about that back with it. Okay,
and
so
that we would lose any, like, Sony would be able to do whatever they want with Cicada, even make
okay,
like a fucking, I don't know, politically sided movie, whatever. And Thomas like told it like, well, yeah, we'll be selling out, but I'm not selling out my the rights of my life. Like they were gonna make an biographical movie. Like, come
okay.
on.
So I can shed some light on this. Okay, so I'm not gonna say when, but a while back I was involved in a media project, and I can't say much about that because I'm still under an active NDA. But back in the day, all right, I was told that such a TV show was planned. Even like from my source, even my source was not really permitted to hear it, but there it is. Those noises made the rounds back then, and yeah, apparently that was planned, but I believe it just kind of floundered. I never heard that Thomas was in discussions back then, but even
Oh,
then, it would have been fucking gay.
they've been trying to get that movie deal for years. It's,
It's pathetic.
yes, absolutely. It's, I read the pilot script and it was just fucking disgusting.
Oh, there were scripts. God damn it.
Yeah, I'll later send it to you also if you want.
I mean, if you can, that'd be great.
Yes, for entertainment, you know.
I promise not to share it though.
Oh, please do.
I mean, I can put it on the wiki.
You know, I have the sophiamusic.com domain on my server actually. I'm
That
gonna
is,
put I'm gonna put the full docs on Thomas there.
including his arrest record.
Yeah, of course. And most importantly,
Hey, I'm not inciting you to do anything like that, but if you do it, I'm gonna be happy.
oh yeah, I totally will. I already have, like, I was building that today to make like a magazine, like make it look cute and stuff. Like good.
Jib camera, you say the name Cicada 331 is worthless in a mass marketed movie. I wouldn't say that, like like a bunch of people use the internet, and especially in 2014, um, people were talking about it a lot. Um, so people really resonate with it. People
Mm-hmm.
resonate with it, and they really like the mystery and the intrigue. So with a proper marketing campaign,
Mm-hmm.
you could probably make something out of it.
I mean, what happened with QAnon? They took Cicada, they injected politics, they injected like
Okay, so
fucking
sorry, go ahead.
new age kind of like mentality cult, and they got the most retarded conspiracy in all time.
Well, with QAnon, it's even sadder, because QAnon is really just made up of mentally retarded boomers, uh, teenagers with oppositional defiant disorder.
And they call themselves Anons.
No,
Oh, it's
no,
so
no, no,
and
no.
they from the chants, it's like,
Dude, this is not even the best. They call themselves patriots, okay? And patriots is
oh.
like, can you imagine a circle jerk gay enough where you call each other patriots? Like, thank you, patriots. Thank
Yeah,
you, patriot.
and
No,
all of them
kill
screaming
yourself.
at the same time, like, where we go on, we go,
Yeah,
oh, yay.
in my mind, I just read it as a wigger wigger.
Yeah.
Actually, there is this great subreddit called Headquarters, and I peruse it every now and then because posts are kind of slow. But when they post, it's fucking gold, okay? Like the other day, I found someone. No, yesterday actually, I found someone who was like, "Yeah, we should give the Clintons and the entire cabal exactly what they've given us: directed energy weapon shots, fucking vaccines, GMO food, chemtrails, their chemotherapy, all their nasty and mean shit, you know." So
Yeah.
these people are really vengeful and they're
No,
angry and
you heard this girl talking about Podesta and saying like you're gonna get killed like really this emotion. Oh, I can't remember what she said. It's so stupid, but she got owned by her own members. Like they used her as an example of crazy people, and they outed her like the same people. Like, and then she makes a video like saying that, "Oh, she got me." Like she even enjoyed it so much.
well they always do, you know. Like I believe these people have just been disenfranchised for whatever reason, and they just feel like the system isn't working for them. So the way for them to fix it is not to work within the system, but to
Mhm.
but to try to remove the system so they can have their martial law, and they're really into martial law, like
Yes,
really.
they want war. They want violence and
Well,
stuff. It's
they
scary.
wanna fucking incarcerate and torture and kill all the Dems in
Hmm.
California and New York. And then they wanna put Clinton into Gitmo, even though this is not how Guantanamo works. And then they want POTUS to be the God Emperor of the world and all this shit. And QAnon is for mentally ill people. I'm not even kidding
Yeah,
because it
it's
so
they
good.
hate and like the people that went to attack me after this guy. I went after this QAnon pusher called War Drummer because I realized that he was like a character in the movie, man. He was like this preacher that used like binaural sounds that make you feel like fucking sick when you're like in danger.
Yeah.
And just combining politics and religion and conspiracy theories, it was something worthy of study, to be honest. But I only like basically kicked the fence of him, and he just went out fully and sent all of his people to attack me. And then the next day, after all the death threats that the people like put on my channel, it was like, fucking idiot. That's exactly what I wanted. That is like your followers are gonna make your channel shut down because all the shit is like sick, man. Like sick pedophilic innuendos they call me, and all of that they did it without even evidence of me being guilty.
No, no, no.
It
The accusation is the evidence.
exactly. It's like if it would have been like real life, and it was this angry mob, and I was like passing by, they would like crucify me. Like yeah, and without even like remorse or anything. And uh I tried to dialogue with many of them, and I was like mind blown by the level that this person can get and just
No, they are really they're like insects, I would say, you know, and how low they can get. Like it's a really low state of consciousness, and suddenly you you sort of betray all their intuitions as to what they had assumed of you, and suddenly you are the enemy of all their values, and you're like the class enemy, and they hate you, and you are to be destroyed for
Mhm.
their ideology and their worldview to still make sense.
Yes, it's like and if you insult this QAnon, it's like if you insult their mom or something, they would get so triggered. So
Well, I mean, there are people who say, um, if God had told me something, I would still need to make sure with Trump if it's true. Like this is a personality cult,
hmm
and if there was any parallel between Thomas and fucking QAnon, is that they're both cults, in my opinion.
well, they have the same kind of like techniques to go after people, to isolate, to alienate, and stuff. Yeah.
And in the end, sort of form your will, your intentions, and your perspective, all of it.
hmm It's like I've been like against QAnon, and I've been able, like the people in the QAnon community after the War Drummer incident, they like I could say any shit about them, and they wouldn't attack me. It was amazing. I could I called them out like pussies. I was like, hey, like bring it on and shit. You don't even meme and shit like because they lack. It's a characteristic also that I find out. They couldn't quite come out in this whole year that QAnon's been going with one successful meme. Not even funny.
I mean, you could argue that the NPC thing had some success, but I'm not sure if that was a QAnon thing.
No, not really. It's like they're gonna steal it. They're gonna hijack it like they do with anything creative that comes out.
Like Pepe,
Yeah.
the
Oh
writers
man, it's like
completely.
they rape. Like I see Pepe now, and it's like I don't want to
You know,
watch it anymore.
I remember when it was just a happy frog or a sad
hmm
frog or whatever the fuck it was back on 4chan.
Yeah, awkward kind of like.
Yeah, and then it has just fucking exploded. And then like when you went on Paul, the politically incorrect book on 4chan, not that you would want to, but you would
hmm
just see all kinds of Pepes, some Trump, some Hitler, and those were actually kind of funny. But
yeah.
I just hate how memes are being appropriated.
Yes. It's like just when they call themselves anons, the anons from the chants are gonna make research on you. Oh shit.
First of all, the Anons from old don't exist anymore. They have grown up, they have kids, or they killed themselves. Second, no, I'm serious. Or they are
I,
in jail because they wanted to sniff the panties of little girls. So what's the deal about the attack on Jethro, guys? She deserved it. Like she's just too fucking stupid to live.
Who?
Um,
Excuse me.
Jethro, because someone asked, so what's the deal about the attack on Jethro, guys? And I just said
Oh,
that
I
she's
didn't attack her. That I stated my position like really clearly on that,
yes.
and I
If
respect what brotherBox says. Is like there's nothing wrong in having different opinions.
yeah, he is more compassionate towards her. I'm not. I would say that's sort of the difference. Would
But it's like really cool that like the moment that I heard your voice, it's like I put it like in a this character like like yeah, the evil guy in the movie. Yeah, you should definitely do a voiceover someday.
I actually hear that from a bunch of people.
Yeah, let's definitely do it. It'll be funny.
And I believe that I will have to cut us off at this point. We've been going for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's been long. So
Yeah.
just let's try to resume what we try to did here, like not to make it feel like it was just it was a very enjoyable talk.
Oh, no, I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely want a second round if you're up for it sometime.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I found it really fun, really enlightening, and I believe that we have a lot more to discover. So,
Yeah, it's weird. I'm trying to figure out things like many other people, and I'm I don't give like really a damn what other people like. I'm tired of people trying to influence me or trying to stop what I'm doing. Because whenever like when I started this, man, everybody told me not to do it, that it wouldn't change a thing, that I would just be ridiculed, like friends, like close friends, like telling me not that this is not going to work and stuff, that don't do it because I'm going to be attacked and stuff. It was the most difficult thing. I think that it would have been much easier to go after Thomas and actually like bring him down in not so much time if I wouldn't have just like listened to many people. But I can't like I can't really deal with seeing people having a bad time or suffering. And I I want this to be really clear that this is not like, of course it's interesting and I'm being introduced and just meeting very interesting characters, but this is stupid. I don't want to be spending more time in a person like Thomas, but he's like, he really needs something dramatic for him to definitely leave the internet alone, because he's like cancer. Everything he touches turns into shit. He's like King Midas, but
He's the
cheating.
King Midas of feces.
Yeah, but with feces. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say we end on the note that the only winning move is not to play.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree. I agree that that as long as people talk with about him with fear, maybe it's like keep talking like about him, but like funny, like ridicule him, because it's when you attribute him. Like the other day, like one fucking YouTuber said like, "Oh no, wait, but remember Thomas has NSA CIA connection, so you have to consider that." They were talking about Pizzagate, and that distorted the whole conversation into something like completely surreal. That lie. So remember that when you're telling that lie, or you're overpowering a conspiracy theory, you're actually yeah, empowering a fucking abusive people, scammers that are basically e-beggars. If you look for a project called Project Camelot, it's gonna end up, it's gonna lead you to David Icke, and also to then David Icke to that Wilcock guy, and that guy to Jordan Sather, and that Jordan Sather is with the Gaia TV community, and Gaia TV is related directly to the Unity 48 stuff, and Unity 48 is directly connected to QAnon, and all of them are
Okay,
connected to
okay,
Thomas.
okay. Is that true?
So it's fucking it's a cancer that has to be amputated.
Yes, it does.
And the only way to do it is coming clean. So this is a message to the PGP owner, because it's he's not answering my messages. So the only thing that you're gonna be free of him is that you come clean. I understand that you value your privacy, that you might even don't care about because it's not your problem, but it is. And you being distant on this issue, and you being like basically a dick and ignoring the suffering of other people, it just makes things suspicious. It makes me think of things. So just the best way that you're gonna be free of him and really do something about what you have created or whatever is to expose his shit to the light. That's the only way that we beat him. So if like please, like either answer back or be brave enough, have the balls enough to even not show your face, but helping stop this monster that you let take over Cicada, because you let him. It's like if you're so smart, why didn't you saw through him? And
And
that's
we
it. That's what I wanted to ask.
Well, thank you. I hope that the person that you have in mind is hearing this and appreciates the sentiment. And with this, we are ending the stream now because I'm really tired.
Yeah.
And we will be back sometime soon. You and I will probably get back together at some point and communicate about that. Yeah, good night, everyone, and enjoy your Christmas days.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas to all of you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.